get to a certain point of maturity and you've been through life is that there's nothing perfect in life. And every decision has a trade off. You give something to get something. There's a pro and there's a con. So you're trying to figure out in life what you're willing to deal with and what you're not. What do you do best at and what do you not want to be bothered with? And a big part of that equation, if you were to look at each decision in your life and kind of like get a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle, and on one side put the pros and on other sides put the cons. A lot of it kind of comes down to freedom versus security. Good to see you, Infinity. Shout out to everyone on the members only chat. Good to see you. Freedom versus security. People struggle with breaking routines because humans are creatures of habit. People struggle with dealing with change, and change is the opposite of security. Security is like a security blanket. You know, a security blanket is a phrase for when you were young, you were given this blanket and, you know, when you got scared, you just kind of like bundled up in it and you felt secure. A big part of security is psychological. Let me give you an example. I'm sitting here broadcasting live from a public gas station, and many people are in the security of a home, an apartment, etc. And you may say that I have more freedom, but I lack security. If we were just using like you're in a house right now, I'm in a public parking lot. And in some instances, I would say that you're right. I'm going to be fair. But in other instances, I would say security is a little bit psychological because there are probably more home break-ins, more home intrusions than there are people breaking into a car at a gas station. So this is not a sales pitch, right, to get you to sell your house and live in a gas station. That'd be foolish. But I like to provoke some thought tonight and make you think about safety, security versus freedom and taking a chance. Because I don't believe you can get to your best life, no perfect life. I don't believe you can get to your best life playing it safe all the time. I don't think you should take high risk all the time. You know, you got to find balance, and there's going to be different seasons of life. Another example would be a job opportunity. I don't believe you'll develop your gifts and maximize your earning potential by never taking a risk and leaving the security of your current job at times and going for a risk of a new job. Now, again, I don't never think you should leave your current job without securing another job. And I'm not saying you should take every promotion. But I'm saying there's a leap of faith where you leave behind security for the freedom of being a manager where you have more control, the freedom of working remote, but maybe you'll get laid off first because that department is first on a chopping block. Freedom versus security. You know, many people love when I say stay single, and I think it's a great piece of advice. But the truth is, many people struggle with the freedom of not having anyone to go home to or anything to do. It's almost like many people need to be told what to do or have something to do. I'll often tell you guys the story of the book of Samuel in the Bible. I went on a spiritual journey in my life to try to get a better understanding of life. And what I found is it's not about religion, but it is the more you seek, the more you'll understand. And then you'll get to a point where don't mind fuck life. I don't care if you believe in Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, Buddha, reincarnation, or we're all going to die and come back as a squirrel. What I'm here to tell you guys is keep life simple. Spirituality is good. Keep it simple. Focus on self-care. That keep you busy the rest of your life. Most people struggle waking up early and doing something productive, not about speaking in tongues or coming back as a squirrel. Focus on waking up early and being productive, and hygiene. How many people know about the afterlife? They know about hell, but they don't know about flossing? Guys, flossing is hard to do it every day. Okay. Some of your toenails, okay, they look like like Rihanna fingernails. I mean, your toenails are disgusting. When's the last time you clipped them? What are we talking about? Freedom and security. See, you think you're going to finger the coochie, but your fingernails are rough as hell, and she's scared to let you in her panties. I had some girl, very ugly girl. Her name was Sarah Rogers. She had so many filters on her profile that she's a complete fraud. Okay. And she said, watch what you say in your live feeds. Well, she erased her comment quicker than I could reply. I told her, watch the comments you leave on my channel. Don't watch my channel. Okay. Don't watch my channel. Go watch Joel Osteen. Okay. Go into your security of your comfortable place. Okay. Go watch a Lifetime movie. It's just for people that want to venture out, that are going to sacrifice some security for some freedom. They're not going to take too much risk, but they're going to take calculated risk. And once in a while, they'll take too much risk. They'll learn a lesson. Happens to us all. And there is something to be said for security. I'm not going to preach a message where I'm Bob Wells in the desert. You're going to be good as a senior citizen living in a gas station. You're going to be great at a campground. No. Again, this message is not about being a nomad. This message is about trade-offs. It's about evaluation. It's about understanding what is it going to take you, okay, to leave behind to get something new. Because you don't get something new until you're willing to leave something behind. And many people are not willing to leave their old life behind. And they sacrifice the freedom of their future for the security of their old, maybe it's not a horrible life, but it's not their best life. Moving forward, okay, not seizing the capital, not debating politics. Hey guys, look, that's, a whole nother gabosh. Focus on what you can control. Okay. And I often say, look, you're never going to have freedom in a relationship because two people together, this has to be compromised. Has to be. And many people marry an American because they want freedom. And I think it's good because I think it's better than being in a third world country, but you're going to come to find out you're not that free. So you trade off some of the security for leaving your family and your culture behind. And I give anyone who's willing to migrate to another country, like my grandparents did, a lot of credit because that's scary. And so you do that to gain extra freedom, to gain extra opportunity. Okay. Now, I also know a couple nasty people who did that. So it's good and bad everywhere. I also know a couple Americans, they're going to trade off some of their freedom to go live in a third world country because the currency exchange is better. And they can retire on poverty. Everyone's got a scam. Well, hey guys, each your own. I don't care what anyone does. But I'm trying to tell you, people make decisions like, guys, you're going to sacrifice some of your security, go and live in Thailand or whatever. Yeah, you're going to have more money, you're going to have more freedom, but you're going to have to watch your back. Okay? Because, guys, when you're the richest person in third world country, I don't know if that's a good thing. You know what I mean? That's all right. So we're always faced with decisions. And we can never get to our best life always playing it safe. I think the San Antonio Spurs a few years back, they were playing in the championship, the NBA championship. And they almost won the championship. I forgot who they played. It was when they were battling LeBron, but I don't know if that was you. But they almost won, but they played it a little bit too safe. And the following year, I think they did win. They went like back to back. And he said, look, we have to be a little bit aggressive. You can't just play it too safe. Hillary Clinton lost against Trump because she played a little bit too safe. Okay. So it's your interesting thing. Like I say, I tend to be progressive, but I certainly tend to agree with DeSantis in giving people the freedom to move around in society and not complete lockdowns. You're trading off a little bit more risk for a little bit more freedom. You're giving up some security. But then I said to myself, most people who caught the coronavirus, they were in the security of their house. They weren't traveling across the country. So this is the debate, in politics, in your life, whether it's your job. And freedom is great. Some people can handle it. Some people it's overwhelming. But like I was saying back on the book of Samuel, what that book was about was people who demanded to have someone rule over them to tell them what to do. And Samuel kept warning them, you want to keep your freedom. Okay. But people begged. Because I do believe, the masses want to level, most people are not leaders. And that's not a bad statement, because if everyone was a leader, it'd be a shit show. It'd be storming the Capitol. Guys, people need a level of direction. Okay. Like Trump said, okay, you're special people. Now go home. Okay. So, what I want to tell you is that you're faced with in life a lot of decisions, and people struggle with making decisions. I always tell you guys the story of Costco, where they did a study and they say if you give people more than 3 selections of the same item, they'll get overwhelmed and they won't buy anything. That's why in Costco and a lot of these other bulk stores, they only have 2 types of ketchup or 1 type, and they keep it simple so people don't have a lot of selection. The overwhelmed mind never makes progress. I was talking to someone today, and they were talking about someone we both know, that they have a storage unit. They haven't seen what's inside of that storage unit in 2 years. They're destitute. They're on government assistance. But they can't separate from the storage unit. It's a mental disorder. They feel secure knowing their stuff is secure. Isn't that amazing? See, the freedom would be knowing you don't need the stuff and saving yourself $200 extra a month. I've had people left my channel, and that's fine. They should, because I want to give you guys the freedom. I always do. But I just found sometimes I say to myself, man, after I said that, people will leave. And I said some wild stuff. But one of the things that caused a lot of people to leave was when I started telling you that if you got a storage unit, you got a psychological problem. Guys, I'll tell you right now, if you want to see scorched earth, tell a psychopath they can't have their storage unit, or they'll fucking lash out. Have you ever tried to separate someone from their stuff? Have you ever watched a movie of Hoarders? The TV show Hoarders, where you go to try to help your mom or help your family member clean up their house. They're buried in stuff. They don't use the stuff. They don't need the stuff. So they try to help them, but then they end up getting in a fight. Because people feel secure with their stuff. Their stuff is useless. It's junk. It's causing them more money and more heartache. They're being buried alive in their stuff. But there's security there in knowing it. See, the freedom of the unknown is scary. So let's renew that storage unit for another 12 months. Oh, yes. As inflation goes up, that storage unit will go up 10% each year. But I'll tell you, if they raise gas 5 cents a gallon, the psychopaths scorch earth. Okay. If Nancy Pelosi don't get an extra $50, they scorch earth. There's a mental disorder. Never try to separate a psychopath from a storage unit, but never pay for it when they're on government assistance and trying to hide money. Let the storage unit expire and let their stuff get repossessed and sold on eBay for wholesale. We're talking about freedom and security. We're talking about psychologically how you look at life. This is all about psychologically. It's not about political. Most of your life is psychological. Okay? And most of the reason people struggle is not because the devil, it's because psychologically there's something wrong. You know the type of person, they're disabled, but they're independent. Okay. They can't function, but they need other people to help them. Then they say no one's trying to help them, but everyone tried to help them. They want their way, their way. Oh, it's a whole psychological game. What do I tell you to do? Don't volunteer. What I tell you to do is focus on your own life. In a first world country, there's plenty of help for those who want it. And once in a while, you see someone who does need a shot, help them out. Other than that, keep moving. Seen a lot of people destroy their life, almost did it a few times, trying to help people who don't want to be helped. Don't do it. Love them, pray for them, but they're coming back as a squirrel, and they're going to have a storage unit. In the second and third life, like my man Internally Inspired says, if you're going to get reincarnated and you got a storage unit, I think you're coming back, okay, as some type of, I don't know, you still have a storage unit, okay? Infinity Preach, thank you. I'm busting my ass out here, trying my best. Every night I go live. Oh, shit, we got some love on the live chat. Let's see that super chat. Eckerd Smith, I saw some of your great comments today. Thank you for that super chat. I bet never, all caps, see you. I better never see you on an episode of Flip This House. Sam, stay single. You ain't got to tell me twice. You ain't got to tell me once. Singleness is freedom. Well, you're preaching to the choir now. And security. Yeah, now you're definitely win-win. In my opinion. Love you, Sam. Love you too, man. You the man. You also. Great comment. One is, I'm going to dissect this comment. Thank you again, Infinity. And thank you, Eckerd Smith. I used to watch Flip This House. Okay. I used to watch Renovate My Life Away. If you're doing a renovation, you sold your life to Satan. Okay. So get used to looking at different paint colors. Get painter's tape. Get different paint brushes. And by the end of your renovation, you're going to wish death on your spouse. Okay. That's right. I don't know any renovation that has taken place where at the end of the renovation, you didn't wish death on your spouse, and you still want to change the lighting in that bitch. Okay. I'll tell you this right now. Renovations destroy your life like nothing else. I don't care if you flip that house, because what I told you is you just flipped your life upside down for new decor. I'll never do a renovation till the day I die. As far as staying single, unless you have to marry someone to get in a first world country, I would recommend you stay single. And if you marry someone to get in a first world country, you better know the laws. As soon as you can divorce them, get the hell out of Dodge. Hey guys, favor for a favor. And look, guys and girls, we're in another dimension. We're not in a dimension where we argue about which state do you live in. However, I will say, look, again, I'm impressed with Florida. Okay. A lot of positives here, guys. Okay. A lot of freedom. I'm not going to lie. I think Florida is one of the freest states. And even though I vote for progressive, I keep it honest. And I got to say, right now, I got to say that Florida's good, too, because it's not like, it's a good purple state. You got Democrats, you got Republicans. It's a good purple state. You know, like you go to like Alabama, you go to that's, you know, it's like deep South, like, you know, they still think like they got a shot to, you know, the Civil War. I keep telling you guys, look, it's over. You guys lost like hundreds of years ago. You know, they still got the flag. It's all right. It's all right. And, you know, if you go like to upstate New York, you got a whole nother dimension. You got cold weather. You got my good guy Mark out there. He's trying to do the best he can, trying to retire and get down to Port St. Lucie. But you got Cuomo, too many lockdowns, can't take a shower in a gym. It's a disaster. Chicago, we got a great member, Kathy. Chicago's a shithole. Most of America's a shithole, I tell you. Now, it's better than any third world country, but it's not Florida. And it's not the good part of Florida, definitely not. Very small percentage of America is very nice. Very, very true. Infinity. East and West, Tennessee. Don't know the war is over either. Well, yeah, I hear you. I mean, we got our great member, Journey from Jordan. He's from Tennessee. Used to be from Naples, Florida. That's a good part. And again, I want to get away from bashing states, even though I just did. And I want to say, I agree with some Republican and some Democratic philosophy. I like a good mix. I like the hot weather. I like Florida because you got people from all over the country that came here, so you got a good mix. But we're going into another dimension where you can work remotely, where you can move easily. So to me, the security of staying in a town you grew up with is just a psychological issue. Because now most people can move. But they got Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is when you were taken captive against your will. And then over time, you become accustomed to that illusion of security. That even though you're abducted against your will, you're put in an environment where you're fed a meal, you're given shelter. And so now you look at your captive like your hero. And you have this security bubble. Okay. And eventually, the person who took you captive, they know that you feel comfortable. They leave and they leave the door unlocked. You can leave at any time. You can run away. And you can get your freedom back. But just like the Israelites, you want to go back to Egypt because at least you knew what you were getting, so you stay in bondage. And that's when Moses had the big debate when he came off the mountain and he smashed the 10 Commandments in anger and he killed 3,000 people, men, women, and children. Eggert, $2. Kanye found freedom just last week. Nah, Kanye did to himself, man. That guy's not free. I think Kanye... Look, Kanye's bad people, man. That's what I think. I think he's got some good talents, but I knew someone back in the day that got with Kanye, and he was an asshole then. And he should have never got married, should have never had kids. He had 4 kids. So shame on him, shame on Kim. Kanye did to himself. You know, just like Bruce Jenner did to himself. He begged. You know Bruce Jenner begged to have 2 kids? And then after he begged to have 2 kids, now all of a sudden he's a transgender? I mean, what a selfish bastard. He should have the right to chop off his dick because I stand for equal rights. But what a disgrace, okay, to know that you're not happy and so you force other children into this world. And then you say, I got to be happy, I got to be myself. Well, what about when you always knew you were dressing up like a girl? So Kanye and Bruce Jenner, in my opinion, a.k.a. Caitlyn Jenner, they're going to both get with each other. And that's going to be a new couple. Caitlyn Jenner and Kanye West get married. And again, I stand for equal rights. I'm not going. But just because you're a transgender don't mean you're a good person. And just because you're a psychopath, Kanye, don't mean you're good people. And look, guys, I think Kanye stole out the country. He tried to be positive. I mean, I understand some of what he was doing. And I always acknowledge Kanye. I remember being outside of a strip club in Rahway, New Jersey. And Jesus Walked came on the radio. And I felt like it saved me. So I do believe that ultimately even Kanye gets into heaven, but I'm not the one to say who gets into heaven or hell. But, you know, I really don't feel Kanye anymore. Good comment, though. Thank you for the super chat. Infinity, no offense to his kids, but he should have had a vasectomy. I totally agree. I think what him and Kim did was fulfill their selfish need to have kids, and then they say, you know what? I don't like this anymore. And that's good. I'm glad they got a divorce. I'm glad my parents got a divorce. But they knew that. He should have got an abortion. Because when he was running for president, he said he wanted to get an abortion, but Kim wanted to keep it. But they both decided to keep it. Shame on them. And then they have more kids. Shame on them. They got the money, so it's not a matter of security or freedom. They both got the money. But it's just a matter of selfishness. Because they're depressed. Kanye West got bipolar. He shouldn't even be having kids. He's psychologically damaged. Kim Kardashian can't even look in the mirror without feeling insecure. She's psychologically damaged. Kylie Jenner looked in the mirror. She was so insecure about her lips. She injected, fat cells into her lips. Then she sold overpriced lipstick to all the insecure women out there, became a billionaire, okay, and now she looks like shit. She made $1 billion, she looked like shit. That's what I think. I think Kylie looked like shit. Okay. This is my opinion. I shouldn't say that because maybe she's watching, I don't want her to feel insecure. But I definitely tell that viewer of mine, Sarah Rogers, I think that was when she looked like shit. And she had a lot of filters on. Okay. Trying to tell me what I can say in my live feed. Why don't you get your own live feed? Watch what you say in my comment section, guys. Okay. If someone has a filter, you should never date them. Now, I had a filter too. You should date me. I want to stay single. A filter, guys, it's a cover-up. Most people are not free in their own skin. It's true. Now, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. If I had to get buck naked and do live feeds, I would be insecure a little bit too. Okay. But what I can tell you is, insecure people are one of your biggest enemies in life. Because they're so unhappy with themselves, that manifests in how they comment and how they look at people and how, and that's why they get so offended. I've had a couple people, they internalized everything I say and they lashed out in such a nasty way. And they're good people, they make it to heaven. But I said to myself, see, that's why I never fuck with them. Okay. Because I knew, you could tell when you're dealing with insecure people, they're bad people. They're going to fuck you up. They're an enemy. And we all got insecurities, so I'm not saying I'm a high horse. But I'm saying I needed to be alone in a season of my life to work out my insecurities. So do you. Okay. And if you don't want to be alone, misery loves company. There you go. There you go. That's how it happens. Now, people like the security to be able to blame someone else. A lot of times why people don't want to be alone is because when you're free and you're by yourself, there's no one else to blame but you. I got a couple people I know like that in the family. They don't want to be left alone and given their money and be put off because then they have no one to blame. There's security in having someone else to blame. But the freedom means you're accountable. And for some people, that's more scary. That's true. Okay. These are the people you have to get away from. These are the people you need to let the government take care of because they're going to destroy your life. Doesn't matter where you live. Tennessee, Colorado, California, Texas, Arkansas, Maine. This is a universal psychological principle. Freedom versus security. Being willing to venture out and move, take a new job, leave someone behind, get rid of your storage unit. For another level of freedom, you're going to have to sacrifice some security. Now, again, you need some security. You need some balance. But you have to figure that trade-off out, like I did a video when I was leaving New Jersey and coming back down to Florida a few months back. And it was amazing. I mean, I've done this trip now, I don't know how many times in the past 4 years plus, several times. I've done it during a pandemic, before a pandemic, after a pandemic. And even this year, still though, after several times, it was still scary to leave behind what I became accustomed to again. The first time I drove from New Jersey to Florida, and I know my man Coconuts likes to hear this story, I was so scared because I tried to do it in one night, and I did it in one day. And at night, I was halfway from New Jersey to Florida. I was in South Carolina, and I almost turned around because it felt like the road was never going to end. And even though there was a lot of freedom in that road, the road is freedom. I felt like the more I was going south, the less security I had. And sure enough, too, in Georgia, I did have some drunk guy knock on my door at 2 o'clock in the morning. However, nothing happened. It was all right. But I remember when I was in South Carolina, pulling over to a rest area, I was like, man, I'm going to turn around because I just don't feel right. I feel like I got to go back. See, a lot of times in life, we justify not going forward because we don't feel right. And I'm not saying that's always wrong. But I'm saying a lot of times, it's just our fear. And many people can't overcome fear. It's true. Not easy. I share with you guys. I don't try to like act like I never have it. I always share. Okay. That's why if someone don't like my shit, I don't give a fuck. I try to be honest with you guys. Yeah. Some people don't want to hear this. I don't give a fuck. Thank you again, Edgar. Thank you, Infinity. But I remember being on the side of that road thinking about, damn, I'm going to go back, man. I'm going to go back to New Jersey. It's I'll just have my secure, I have comfortable back. And I thought about it. I said, man, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? Oh, that'll fucking change your life. When you start thinking like that, you're fucking 60? You ain't going to be surfing? 70? Get your will ready. 80? Shit. You got one foot in the grave, motherfucker. That's right. You have to start asking yourself, if you're not going to do it now, when are you going to do it? Now, a lot of people said that about babies. They hit 30 and said, well, if I ain't going to have a baby now, when am I going to do it? They fucking destroyed their life. Watch out for those baby and pets, guys. You just trade off like 10, 20, 30, 50 years of your life. No more babies, no more pets. That's it. My opinion, do what you want. Some people are scared to travel alone, but they're not scared to bring a child into this world. Psychologically damaged. Never try to separate a psychopath from their storage unit. You can debate politics, you can debate religion, but I'm telling you right now, if you want to see the devil, you try to separate a psychopath from their storage unit. Be fucking hell to pay. Okay. Security. They feel safe knowing their stuff is safe. There's even a storage place called like Safe Lock. Guys, psychologically damaged, guys. They got fucking they got air conditioning and heating for their stuff, and they're sitting there, they don't want to turn the heat on because they're trying to save on electric. It's psychologically damaged. I will not stop preaching the message that the storage unit is Satan's shed. And everyone who has gotten to bed with Satan, okay, you're good, guys, you're paying $200 a month for nothing. That's it. How freeing is it to not have a lot of stuff? Oh, it's one of the best things. See, like, shout out to my man Big Plan Dan. He always wants me to like kind of like go over, and I'm going to do videos about going over Class C versus Class B, even though I did a lot homes. Look, basically right now, you know, my debate in my mind has been home base or RV for the past couple of years. But I go back, I know what I'd be trading off. I'd be trading off some of my freedom and flexibility for security. Percy, get the bag, you damn right. And the briefcase, I ain't mad at that. Good damn name you got, man. This is the Secret Service. We finally found you. Well, shit, I don't give a fuck because I'm doing everything legal. And I got that super chat. Secure that bag. Hey, man, I'm doing everything legal. I pay my taxes, man. But thank you for that super chick. Edgar, heaven is on the other side of safety and comfort. That's an interesting comment, man. I would say I agree because it requires faith. You know, like heaven and God, it's faith. And you need to do work. Faith without works is dead. But I believe in faith. I don't mock it. I mean, like I make light of some of the things, but I know in my heart I'm doing it in a sincere way, not to just be outrageous. Try to teach a lesson. But I acknowledge that I believe God saved me. I acknowledge that certain things happened in my life that I can't take full credit for. However, I also acknowledge I put in the work, so I try to balance the message. You're not going to live your best life without faith and without leaving some safety and security. Thank you, Edgar. Thank you, Percy. Hey, shout out to the Secret Service. Secret Service, one of them got locked up because they basically committed treason. They gave the inside, inside access supposedly to some of the people who stormed Capitol. So guys, even the Secret Service can get locked up. Okay, so never forget it. So what I can tell you is this, guys and girls. I debate now in my journey, do I want to give up some of my freedom for some security? That's not the cops. It's just a strobe light. Don't worry. It's just a trucker. See, like right now, guys, I'm living that wildlife. Strobe lights in the back. Okay. Shout out to my man, Dan Diamond. He dated a stripper in Temple. Okay. Almost destroyed his life. Okay. And he got his ass back to the Palm Coast where he belonged. Percy, we have a lot in common. Well, thank you. I live all caps in a semi. Well, shout out to the truck drivers. I'm with you guys all the time, man. I live in a semi full time. I'm a truck driver. Shout out. Great job. You're secure in the bag. Never saved so much in my life. Great job, man. Salute to you. Salute to all my truck drivers out there. Me and you guys were bonded. I've met female truck drivers, guys. And what I can tell you is it's a great job. It's a tough job. But for some people, they really have a passion about it. I watch a guy called KB the Trucker. He's from the Bronx. I enjoy his videos. And shout out to my member. I think he's still a member. I'm not sure. God of Blackness. He's a truck driver. Savat. He was a truck driver. So, look, that's a great job. If you're willing to be on the road, I mean, single, you can save a lot of money. You just have to be mindful. You're on the road for long periods of time, and it can be unhealthy. Even though I actually did DoorDash one time to a truck stop, the guy was built. So, you can still be in shape and be a truck driver. So, and one of the movies I really liked was what Sylvester Stallone called Over the Top. Over the Top. He was a truck driver. And he went to pick up his son, and like they traveled a little bit, and they went into like cafes and they did like arm wrestling for money. Check that movie out, Over the Top. Thank you, Percy. Thank you, Edgar. Thank you, Infinity. So yeah, I'm at this season of my life where I'm debating, do I want to give up some freedom for some security? Because that's really what I'd be doing. Because really, if I think about it, every day I make it through without a house, without a condo, without an apartment, it's just like, that's another day. So if you can live in your car or live in your semi-truck for one day, you can do it for two. If you can do it for two, you can do it for three. Then before you know it, you got 3-4 years. I've been in my car full time for 4 years. Maximum freedom. Now, there's some security trade-off. You never have a dope fiend come knock on your door. But again, there's been homes I've gotten breaking into. And again, I think I would be able to trade some freedom for some security. Because if I buy a home base, that's all I'm doing. As long as it's below my means. But it's very hard to give up freedom, man, for where I'm at right now. I look at my age. Because I say to myself at 40, well, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? And then I say to myself, well, when I'm over 55 or 65, because that's kind of when you want to be more, that's when the scales start to tend that you want more security as you get older and less risk. It's like we had it backwards for so many years. You would work in the same spot, then you would retire at 65, maybe hit an RV or maybe travel, and then you need more security then, not more adventure. You need to take adventure when you're kind of middle-aged, when you have a career, hopefully, when you can make money on the road. Now, many people can work in remote, or at least move to an area you want to live. So that's the time to make some changes. When you're older, guys, you're just trying to watch the birds. Okay. Percy, $5 super chat. We're on fire. Times have changed. You're damn right, and for the better, in my opinion. There are gyms everywhere now. Thank the Lord. And I gotta thank you, conservatives. I gotta thank DeSantis. Okay. I tell you guys, look, I'm a progressive. I thought Trump was a disgrace, but I have to be balanced. DeSantis for the win so far, guys. Because it looks like he's doing a good thing. I just left Planet Fitness. Shout out to you. Don't be scared to get a second gym membership. At a 24/7 spot that has a little bit nicer gym, a little bit nicer showers. Times have changed, my friend. You're damn right, for the better. And they allow me to park my semi. Awesome, man. Great. Shout out to you, Percy. Shout out to everyone making a living on the road. You can do it. Whether you DoorDash, truck drive, or you're a traveling nurse. Oh, thank God for 2021. You say, I'd rather go back to 1970. Screw you. I wouldn't want to go back to 1970 when women barely had rights, They were still marching for civil rights. See, some insecure people, okay, who can't handle change and adapting, they want to go back to 1970. And they didn't have a good year since. And they're a disgrace. They're dying. They're dying. They're dead. Okay. So what I can tell you is put them in assisted living, except the good ones. And, guys, we're moving forward. We're moving forward, guys. 1970 is fucking 50 years ago. Okay? It's over. Okay? So, what I can tell you is this, guys. Fuck 1970. Okay? Okay, your disco days are done. Okay. Shout out to you, Hal. Shout out to the BK. I don't even want to go back to 1997. Okay. When Biggie died, Tupac died, I don't want to go back to that year. I want to go forward. Okay. I want to go forward. Because the truth is, we got more freedom now than we did in 1970. Okay. You're damn right we do. And anyone tells you different, they're about a bunch of bullshit. Okay. They're about a bunch of bullshit. Some people are so scared of the future. They cling to the security of this false illusion of the past. It's true. It's true. Shame on you if you buy into your father's psychological evaluation of life and you haven't lived your own. You know how many people that grow up and they just regurgitate what their parents taught them, what their father taught them? And they have no fucking free thought. And before you know it, guys, they haven't really lived life. Never be scared to walk away from an inheritance. Because I'll tell you right now, if complicit Ivanka, if deplorable Eric had actually said to their father, you know what, that's not being a leader, then, I think we would be in a little bit better place today. Behind every deplorable person is a complicit person that just wants an inheritance. Okay. Because I remember 1998. I was on a construction site. Okay. I was like just starting 1998 and 1999, end of the 90s. I was just out of high school starting construction. The end of Bill Clinton's second term. And I remember meeting a guy on a job site. He was actually a nice guy. And he told me, he goes, well, I know one thing. We got to get Bill Clinton out of office because what he did to this country was deplorable. Bill Clinton got a blowjob. That was the worst thing he did. And it was bad. But this is the same type of people that totally excuse what we just seen these past 4 years. Total disgrace. Okay. Because now, guys, getting a blowjob, in the White House is like, that's like, there's not even wrong with that anymore. Okay. Or getting your pussy. Look, guys, if Hillary Clinton would have been in office and the worst thing she did was get her pussy eaten under the desk, you guys said she did a great thing. But people still think she's the devil and Donald Trump's the savior. They're psychologically damaged. It's true. Hate to say it. But again, I got to shout out to Santos. Why? Look, I still want some freedom too. I don't want all progressive. Okay. I want balance. Okay. I want to go forward. Okay. I want to go forward. Okay. You don't go forward. Okay. Without taking some chances. Okay. Without turning off the TV and debating politics. Every year, every election, no matter who's in office, Obama, Clinton, Bush, every year, people bullshit their life away. They bullshit, they debate freedom, but they wouldn't know freedom if it smacked them in the head with a dildo. Because they've become they're the type of person where they cling to their gun because it's freedom. But the only thing a gun does is protect you in case you need to protect yourself, and then you go live life. So if you're just like loading up your gun thinking about freedom, you're not really free. You're, like Jesus said, you're living by the gun, you're going to die by it. A gun is only a tool if you need it in an emergency. Eckert, $2 super chat. Why did some people support Castro? That's crazy to me. Well, it's like, why did America support bin Laden when Russia was invading Afghanistan? And then when they beat Russia, America stopped backing bin Laden, and then bin Laden attacked. Why did America put Saddam Hussein in office? So, guys, why did Ronald Reagan allow drugs to come into the country illegally so we can fund a war illegally in South America? Okay. So, you know, why did the FBI investigate and try to destroy Martin Luther King and Malcolm X? Martin Luther King Day is next Monday. The FBI, okay, they tried to fuck him up. And some people will say he was assassinated by various entities. So before you worry about Castro, worry about MLK. Okay. Because guys, a lot of Cubans I know, they just give, fuck it. Why the Cubans vote Republican is because they got free immigration. Okay. This is what happened. In the 80s, because we wanted a stronghold, we were fighting like in the South American zone. The Republican mantra was, we're going to let Cubans come in here and we're going to kind of like allow it. And so like there's a Cuban loyalty to the Republican Party. That's where it pretty much is. Okay. So what I can tell you guys is there's so many layers behind all the political issues. We would never know them all. People say, well, what about Venezuela? Look at how the inflation killed their country. Well, look how we put trade restrictions. We put trade restrictions on Venezuela like we did with Iran. We crippled their economy, not inflation, through our trade restrictions. That's why a lot of Orthodox Jewish people, they support Trump, not because they believe he's a righteous, godly man, but because they kind of like let Israel do whatever. Okay. And I've been a lot of people in that church game. Guys is like, you know what I mean? Because look, there's a lot of pain in the Jewish tradition because of the Holocaust. But just remember, the Holocaust was from a German white man, not a Muslim Middle Eastern, right? So there's always that debate, you know, like, and there's a lot of layers behind psychologically why people do what they do. Okay. And, you know, just like there's a lot of pain in the minority communities in America because of the MLK. So you have pain with minorities, you have pain with, Jewish tradition. You have pain with Middle Eastern, like blame. Everyone has pain. Okay. There's good and bad in everything. Okay. And freedom is not just like, oh, you got an American flag that's free. You tell me this. You had Colin Kaepernick take a knee in a peaceful protest and bow his head. And that was blasphemy and treason. Then you had the same people that wanted to crucify him take their gun, storm the Capitol building, and cause violence in the name of a protest. You tell me about that. You tell me which is about freedom and what you tell me that. You're going to see a lot of hypocrisy in life. Okay. And there's many reasons that many people cannot bear to talk about. And there is no clear-cut answer. And so when there's not a clear-cut answer, you just go back to what your father regurgitated to you. Go back to your second wife who loved Rush Limbaugh so much that she fucked up your life. I'll tell you that, guys. If you support Rush Limbaugh, and you didn't, this is a whole nother level. Okay. So everyone has, like, look, a right to their own viewpoint. But look, when you cause violence, no, you don't have a right. Okay. Because, guys, they wanted to shut down Colin Kaepernick because they said he was destroying the country. Trump basically incited almost a civil war. So you're damn right he should be silenced, okay? Out your mind. Okay. Look, guys, not 1970. Look, you're dying. There's a new generation, okay? Just like when you were the new generation, you were doing the twist, okay? Yeah, you were setting the world on fire. You're done. You're in assisted living with an immigrant taking care of you, okay? So you think an American's taking care of you in assisted living? It's going to be an immigrant, okay? Just like it's going to be an immigrant taking care of Donald Trump because he married one. And he hires them in Mar-a-Lago, okay, and pays them minimum wage with no health care. Okay. So let me tell you something. The gig is up. May you answer for your sins in the next world. Okay. Yep. Because you did it in the name of Jesus, right? You wouldn't know Jesus if he smacked you in the head with a dildo. That's the truth. You don't know about repentance. You know about a phony-ass show. There's a war on Christmas? Please. There was a war on Nancy Pelosi, and you turned your back. That's the truth. Because you looked at Nancy Pelosi like the devil. Okay. And you were willing, okay, to protest against Starbucks because, guys, the CEO of Starbucks was Jewish. He didn't want to celebrate Christmas. And I know, you're all for pro-Israel. Then why do you want to celebrate? Look, people in America shouldn't have to celebrate Christmas. That's the First Amendment right. You can be Jewish, you can be Muslim. See, people don't really believe what they're saying. They're just about bullshit. But God forbid you call them out on it. They go fucking nuts. It's like trying to separate a psychopath from a storage unit. It's fucking disaster. Edgar, $2 super chat. Thank you, man. There's no freedom in communism. People own nothing. Stop paying your property tax. Don't have car insurance. You don't own nothing in this world in any country. Okay. You're just renting. Now, some countries are better than others. But the reason some countries are better than others is because there's been wars fought illegally to gain power. But I love America. I love America enough, okay, to stand for people that are exercising their right. Because what I can tell you is this, guys, is communism. What's socialism? When we backed the bond market, that was socialism. Social Security is socialism. Okay. So, look, isms are bullshit. It's like you're Christian. Well, if you're Christian and you commit murder, are you Christian? Well, you're Jewish. If you're Jewish, okay, if you're godly, okay, and you're willing to do something immoral, does it really matter? If you're Muslim, okay, and you do something bad, does it really matter? That's all bullshit. Okay. So yeah, do I co-sign Castro? No. Do I co-sign Trump? No. Okay. So to me, guys, look, it's all a matter of what it is. Okay. So to me, if you didn't like Castro, I don't know how you like Trump. That's what I think. But I think if you like Trump, you would have loved Castro because there ain't much difference. That's what I think. Okay. So what I can tell you is this, guys. Okay. What was Vietnam? Okay. I had an uncle that died in Vietnam. Our president, who believes in freedom, he dodged Vietnam because he was rich and wealthy. So it's amazing to me, okay, that some people fall for the banana and tailpipe. Okay. It's amazing to me, okay, that black and minorities fought in World War II and Vietnam and Trump didn't. And if you would have saw the Capitol building with all black people and Black Lives Matter like you did last week, you would have said, this is why the Democrats are destroying the country. You would have went nuts. It's true. So, guys, look, doesn't mean all black people are good, doesn't mean all white people are good. But what I'm trying to say is, guys, we're going forward. Okay. And even if, no matter what happens in life, guys, we're all going forward, whether we like it or not. And you're going to have to give back, or you're going to have to give up the security of what you knew. Some people, they can't handle it. They can't handle the security. Oh, I always knew it like this. I can't handle the fact that all the founding fathers, maybe they really were bad. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle what I was taught religious-wise. It wasn't right. I had a Jewish friend like that. He said, Sam, look, I believe what you a lot of shit, but I couldn't convert because my father would roll over in his grave. I said, well, I don't want to convert you. I said, but that'd be a shame to live your whole life and just do what your father thought you should do. But I'm not trying to convert anyone, guys. I don't care if you worship a dildo or you think you're coming back as a squirrel. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you want to give a blowjob to Donald Trump or if you want to eat Nancy Pelosi's ass. I don't give a fuck. Because, guys, I do my thing. I abide by the laws. Okay. Try to do the best I can. And that's it. Hell. Gotta move with the time. You're damn right. Some people, guys, look. The Israelites, it took a whole generation, okay, for them to go into the promised land because half of them didn't want to do it. Same thing with America, with civil rights and women's rights. They didn't want to do it. Okay. So, guys, everything takes generational. But, guys, a generation is about to die. And there's some great baby boomers, guys. Great baby boomers. Okay, great. And, look, there's some bad ones. And there's some bad millennials and some great. But progressively, no matter what, the ultimate game changer is time. Because, guys, 50 years from now, when my generation's dying, the generation that came up, okay, with Caitlyn Jenner, with Kanye West, guys, they're taking over. Okay. And they ain't listening to Uncle Murder. They're listening to Lil Nas X. Okay. They're listening to, take me down to the old Tom West. I'm going to ride that penis or whatever. Come on, guys. Like, my generation's almost old now. We're middle-aged. Okay. So, guys, the Trump generation, guys, you guys are done. Hate to say it. Okay. So, yeah, you held on to Trump. Maybe you'll hang on another 5-10 years max. You're done. And there's some great ones. And some of them are liberal, too. They grew up as hippies. See, a lot of people from that generation, they grew up as hippies. Then what happened is they got disillusioned by the hippie movement, and then he turned ultra-conservative. Okay. That's what happened. So, guys, look, life is an evolution. You're going to be some conservative things, some liberal things. Okay. But I'll tell you right now, if you married a woman that loves Rush Limbaugh, she's going to destroy your life. She's going to destroy, and she trolls me. Why? Because no one else loves her, and neither do I. It's true. You say, well, if someone doesn't love someone, they don't have the love of God in them. Well, that's true. I got to pray God to help me. Because I'm not going to lie, I can understand that scripture, and I would say that's a fair evaluation. But I'm fair enough to say that rather than bullshit you. Okay. But I tell you, I don't fuck with people like that. So, it's very hard for people to let go and go forward. Very hard. And most people won't, I don't think. I think, most people will not let go of a relationship. They'll not let go of an idea of the past, an idea of who they are, what they are, how they feel. Even if fact is put in front of their face, and even if evidence, it's like some people have decided it's too painful to repent and to change and to adapt. So fuck it. I'm gonna be like this till I die. I understand it. I don't say that I don't understand it. I understand it, but I'm saying not for me. Okay. And this is the way of life. It always has been. Okay. Always will be. Since Moses, when he killed 3,000 people, men, women, and children, to last week when they do the siege. It's always going to be a divide. Like people say, like now's a great divide. Guys, have you ever read human history? You guys are like totally uninformed. We were in one of the most peaceful times in the world's history. Peaceful. Okay. But most people, again, they've been quarantined before the quarantine. And they've pledged blind loyalty to a mindset that they're going to regurgitate the same shit for the next 50 years. And that's how they'll die. Hell, my sister's still mad about my father being a druggie and beating my mom. That MF, motherfucker, has been dead since 1997. Hard to let go of the past. That is why we don't speak. I can understand. You got to go forward, as painful as it is. You're right. She's stuck in the past. I totally get it. Get over it. Hal, I agree with you, man. It's not easy. What you're going to see in life. Good comment, man. Thank you for sharing. What you're going to see in life is many people that can't get over the past. Now, some of the past is painful. Like, some people say, oh, black people can't get over slavery. Some people say, well, Jewish people can't get over the Holocaust. Some people say, like your example. So, there's pain. Everyone has their own story. Okay. Like if you start talking to immigrants, like, oh, Irish had it bad, Italians had it bad, Mexicans had it bad. Everyone has their story. And so all I could say is I can acknowledge that there's definitely pain there and there's definitely history. To me, I never shy away from acknowledging history because it's like I'm not insecure and I don't have anything to hide. Like that's part of life. So I try to figure out, okay, there's that. And then how do you go forward? And that's where most people get stuck. They just want to, it's like it's very hard for people to go forward. Yeah. And like, I don't even know why we're talking about Castro. Guys, I mean, it's like, but sometimes we talk about Hitler. Sometimes we talk about Moses. So you can't forget the past. Remember Jim Jones, the American preacher who took a bunch of people down to South America, I believe Guyana or whatever, and he basically committed mass murder because he got them all to believe in his philosophy. And then when they tried to get freedom, he basically made them all drink Kool-Aid or else they got shot in the back of the head. And the last thing in that mass suicide grave, look it up on YouTube, there was a signpost that says those who don't remember the past are doomed to repeat it. So I do think you have to remember the pain, but then I have to think you have to figure out how to go forward. Look, Russia, why does Russia hate us now? Russia hates us now because America broke up the Soviet Union and Putin can't let that go. Okay. So it's like everyone's holding on to the past. And is Putin ever going to let go of the fact that America knocked off the Soviet Union? I don't know. It's like, it's very hard, guys. How my mom got her master's and she is retired and been clear for 30 years. She still holds her for using. Life is crazy. It is a wild journey, man. I keep it real. Sorry for the deep. No, it's a great comment, man. I appreciate you sharing. We all go through shit. They're damn right. Got to go. No, it's a great. I appreciate you sharing. I think that's an excellent comment, man, because when you share it, there's freedom. When you hide something and light doesn't shine on it, there's an insecurity. And your biggest threat in life is insecure people. Okay. So the hard part is you're probably going to be alone on some of your journey when you shed light on it and you walk in freedom. Because most people are walking in insecurity. Most people are walking in a boob job, a lip injection, okay, a penis sleeve, a wig. Most people are walking around with a filtered on their avatar. Most people are fake as fuck, okay? And I don't want to put myself on a pedestal either, because I would say we all have things we try to hide or we try to make better about ourselves. So I don't want to be disingenuous. But I want to say that if you're not willing to walk alone for a level of your journey, you're always going to be amongst misery. However, when you walk alone and you live in the truth, you're going to face persecution like Jesus, like whoever, name person in history. So there's no easy answer. Like I started the live feed, guys, about trade-offs. And there's no exact science to life. Everyone wants to know, well, if I do this, if I sell my house and I buy an RV, am I happy? Is this the best life? There's no exact science. Okay? If you get a divorce, if you do that, guys, there's no exact science. What there is you got to be as healthy as possible. You got to be moving forward as best you can. And you're just trying to get through life as best you can. Kathy, great to see you. How was your day, Sam? Overall, it was good. I'm thankful. I woke up this morning, Kathy. I was very thankful to be in Florida. I actually thought about you in Chicago. And I'm praying for you. I know it's a cold winter. I know it hasn't been too cold for Chicago standards, but I still pray for all those in the northern states that's very cold in Canada, northern hemisphere of the earth. Because for me, even like it's been a cold front the past day or so in Florida, it's like only 70 degrees. And I know that sounds like foolish for some people, but I feel like I get a little bit down, but it's not as good. Even though I like the break in humidity. But I'm grateful to be in Florida. Very grateful. Very grateful. That's how I felt this morning. Hal, She thinks when my mom passes, we will automatically be brother and sister. Fuck that. It's tough, man. I got a similar story, Hal, and I don't have an exact science for that. I'm not. There's always going to be pain there because you're probably going to have to cut off your sister because she's probably never going to change. But you're probably always going to have a pit in your heart because as much as you probably hate her at times, like I do, I'm sure there's some good things she did. And it's like, look, guys, I think most decent people, I don't want to be at war. I want to be at peace. I don't want to fight with people. I don't want to argue with people. But it's like part of life. It's like if you try to always be neutral, then you're never going to be true. It's a tough thing, man. But if you try to fight every battle, you're never going to have peace. And that's the tough part about life. So on that note, let's end the live feed. I want to thank everyone for joining. I want to thank you, Edgar. I want to thank you, Percy. I want to thank you, Infinity. I want to thank you, Hal. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, everyone who watched. Keep pushing forward as best you can.